Mike's Daily Podcast.
There is an old expression that has to do with screwing something that rhymes with mooch. And it is very much apropos in talking about our current president in such terms. Am I being unpatriotic in doing so? If I am, then
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I have never been more American. And I will say today, our Prez
Mike's Daily Podcast.
screwed the pooch. Welcome to episode 1671, 1671. And I think it's kind of fun to see everybody in the conservative realm going, what the hell did our guy do? The one that's at the helm. He threw everybody under the bus yesterday.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Just to look good in front of a despot, a tyrant, a
Mike's
fox
Daily
who outfoxes
Podcast.
all the other world leaders.
Yeah.
And gets them to do, well, let's say Germany, for example. There's a pipeline between Angela Merkel and Putin that's going to be happening. Did Angela Merkel get outfoxed? Yeah. He plays everybody, and he played Trump. If Trump went into that meeting going, oh, it's better to get along with Russia than not, and I played that a million times yesterday. Look who just walked in. It was not, it was just ridiculous how he went completely ego. Of course, we wouldn't expect anything less from Trump, but he went super ego. He went super ego in Nova style. He went. And it was all because he got defensive, and it looked ridiculous. And accolades, maybe, that's the word I want, to those on the right who are calling him out today, who are saying no. A couple people walked in. Maybe a more defiant no.
No.
That'll work. Hey, look who's here right now that I've walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How you doing?
And to this disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
Oh, that's Nilly, Benita's horse.
Hey, Nilly.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Whoa, Nilly. I'll tell you what the podcast picture is in a moment. Go ahead, disgruntled fiddle player. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn you on. No, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah. I'm telling you what, I'm a huge supporter of Trump, but not today. Today, I feel as an American that commie-kissing mofo just threw us all under the bus, and I'm not very happy about him.
Whoa, disgruntled fiddle player. Words. And by mofo, you meant like a type of foe that is one mo that you want to have as your not foe, huh? I think we explained that away. That's fine.
Yeah, so I ain't happy with them today. Tell you what.
That's all right, disgruntled fiddle player. There's going to be days like this. People that you sometimes support, you're going to go, oh my gosh, what did they do? They just did the wrong thing, and that's all right. Everybody knows some people get things wrong from time to time. Do we forgive him? Is that the Christian thing to do? Yeah, I guess it is. But also,
because you'd be in jail.
Maybe there's something else going on.
Even businessmen that rob and steal and cheat from people every day, even they have to pay taxes.
Maybe that's something we can take solace in, that even businessmen that lie, cheat, and steal, and people that brag about how
I'm really rich.
But, they even have to pay taxes. There comes a time when the roosters must come to roost, and the chickens must sit in the hen, and that the people have to come to judgment for what they done. Hey, someone's pouring me root beer.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, what are we talking about?
Something to do with the president and treason. Treason? Yeah! Don't you love it when that word gets thrown around? Wow. Hey, nobody has even talked about the soccer ball that Putin gave to Trump. That moment. So I watched it as it happened live on C-SPAN. I just cranked up the volume and sat back and opened up a cold one. Actually, I drank a root beer that the brewmaster brought. That was really good. You're getting good at those.
Thanks, Mark. I cut you.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. Yeah, so I
was talking to that weird creature sitting next to you.
Pikachu!
Ah! How did that get there? Anything can happen here at Café Anyway, that's for sure, even genies. Oh, side note, not to get all depressing, but Robin Williams, there's a documentary about him that just came out that I hear is amazing and has to do all about how on stage he was amazing. On stage, in front of the camera, in front of the microphone, he was just the most unbelievable, erratic, crazy, nutty, creative entertainer we've ever seen. In private, it was very difficult for him. Very difficult. I did a total Trump. Very, very difficult. He throws the varies out. So, our president basically decided to do one of his... He thinks, hey, I throw this shtick out all the time when I'm in front of all these people that show up to my little town hall, whatever he calls those things, those rallies. And you know what? I think I'll throw that out here today, next to a despot. And it just made Putin the happiest little fox on the planet. Even Fox News was like, what happened? Why did Trump do this? So it's a thing that happened. Yesterday was also Prime Day. Amazon trying to get you to sign up for Prime, which I think is a ripoff. Anything that you sign up for that's recurring, look out for. Hulu, Netflix stock went down yesterday. Thank you. I told you way back in December of last year that I was quitting Netflix, even though I'd been on Netflix for a long time, dating way back. In fact, I got grandfathered in with like a low fee. Then all of a sudden, they jacked that up at the end of the year, and I said no, and I canceled it, and I was so happy. And then I met my lovely lady friend, and she has Netflix, so I went ahead and watched a little bit more with her. But hey, at the end of last show, I mentioned that someone I work with decided he had to pull something out of one of my podcasts because I had talked about him on my podcast. And he decided, hey, I'm going to send this to some of the other people we work with. And for my crazy weekend job, where the guy who schedules me is just most of the time
Mike's Daily Podcast.
too busy to make the schedule to schedule me. So I've decided that this weekend I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm taking it off from. Well, I'll tell you, as I mentioned at the end of last show, that I was not, scheduled on the schedule. So I was wondering, what is the scheduler doing? I did not say his name on the show, so he still heard he figured out it was himself, and somehow he had a lot of time to not only make the schedule, but also listen to my podcast. So the guy has a lot of time, which is really surprising to me because he's always busy with a million little projects. And I've known him a long time, and he keeps busy, and it's very impressive how he does that, how he keeps a million plates up in the air. I can only keep one. And here I'm doing it right now. And it's, oops. So he apparently listened and decided to send that out to all the part-timers of the weekend job and saying, Mike, not too busy to make schedule for you. So he in fact did make the schedule yesterday. So applause to him. And I'm sorry if I hurt his feelings. But yes, applause. Now, on to something else. Oh, yeah, Prime Day. I think it's a ripoff. Here's the thing. I have mentioned this before, but this is what you should do. If you want my body and you think I'm sick, if you want to get a good deal. You don't have to sign up for Prime. I'm not the biggest fan of their TV stuff, of their original shows. And I'm not, you know what? People go, for example, the guy that I produce the morning show for, it's a business talk station, so he talks about business. He talks about Amazon a lot. And you know what, though? When you talk about Amazon a lot, this, for some reason, tends to happen.
Jeff Bezos is watching you.
What's that?
Jeff Bezos is watching you.
So what happens is, what this guy was saying was, he is so into Amazon. He's got the Amazon Prime. When, like, his toilet paper runs out, he just, like, presses a button and they send it. They remember those things? They were like little key fobs Amazon was giving out just for free to people that were Prime members. And if you ran low on something that you use a lot of, toilet paper, laundry detergent, I don't know, stuff like that, you would just hit a button on this fob and they would immediately send it to you. Of course, they would bill it to your account. But what if accidentally your cat or your dog sits on that little fob? Dog, don't sit on the fob. Fob, don't sit on the fob. I have a dog named Fob. No, my next dog will be named Radler. Radler, because that is the name of a delicious German drink. And the brewmaster just made me some right now.
No, I may get some more root beer. Oh boy, I'll cut you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Radler is where you take beer and mix it with some lemon drink. A lemon drink. Is it lemonade or 7-Up? I don't think it matters. You give it a lemony flavor, which we already do with a lot of our beers. Like 21st Amendment makes their blood orange beer that's already got a kind of a citrusy flavor to it. At any rate, the thing is that Prime Day is lame day, and I don't know how much money they made. I don't see those stats yet. Oh, and Shelley Schuhart, by the way, is in the podcast picture today, the drawing with Shelley. And Shelley is here right now. She walked in with everybody else, and I just haven't had a chance to acknowledge her. Here she is.
Hello, Mike Matthews. Hi, everybody. I was on the last show.
She was. Shelley Schuhart, everybody. So, back to Prime Day. Lame. Here's what you do. I just used a simple Google, and now I think all the search engines are doing this. There's always this little tab for shopping. Let's see. Let's go to Bing, which you can get points every time you search on Bing. I know it's so easy and accessible to search on the Google, but you can... Oh, they don't really have it, do they? Oh, Sacha Baron Cohen apparently has punked not only now Sarah Palin, but has punked Bernie Sanders. And the guy is a genius. I don't know how he freaking... Well, I mean, it's easy to see how you do Sarah Palin, but man, I heard the clip where Bernie Sanders is... Sacha Baron Cohen is saying to Bernie Sanders... He somehow makes Bernie think that he's a professor of some kind, and he says to Bernie, yes, you want us to have the one... Oh, yeah, he's talking with a southern accent, and he's like talking about, hey, so Bernie, you want like the 99%ers to have what the 1% have. Why don't you just put the 99% into the 1%? And Bernie's like, I don't know what you're talking about. That can't be done. You're like, yeah. What you do is you take the 99 and you add the 1, and then you get 199. And Bernie's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's just crazy. So I don't know if he was in on the joke or what, but Showtime wants to clear the air about Who is America, and this is widespread misinformation over the past week about the character of Billy Wayne Ruddick Jr., Ph.D., that Sacha Baron Cohen is playing. Showtime said in a statement, Sacha Baron Cohen did not present himself as a disabled veteran. And viewers nationwide who watched the premiere on Sunday can now attest to that. Okay. Interesting. Oh, I guess Prime Day is still going. So, anyhow, you can... Oh, yeah, you can shop on Bing. You've got to go into one of the, after you search. And I guess all the search engines. So try that before you go to Amazon. Because everybody else is trying to undercut Amazon now. Everybody's got a website now. Costco.com is trying to do it. You've got your Walmart. You've got your Target. You've got all kinds of stuff. Yeah, go ahead and all kinds of things. So check it out. Is what I'm saying. And sound like a bird when you're doing it. The point is that there's a Doctor Who trailer now, and all that we learned from the new Doctor Who, and of course she's going to be a female now, after being a male for over 50 years, and the wonderful Jodie Whittaker, is that, well, apparently she's going around doing nice deeds, and she's going to have 3 companions. Just a minute long, the trailer does a lot of heavy lifting, introducing not 1 but 3 companions. We have Bradley Walsh, we have Graham, Yasmin, and Ryan. In a teaser, the 3 find themselves touched by a bit of mystical time bending, the likes of which only the Doctor can provide. The new Doctor is going to need new friends. We're thrilled to welcome Mandeep, Tossin, and Bradley to the Doctor Who family. Yes, that would be Bradley Walsh, Mandeep Gill, and Tossin Cole. They're 3 of Britain's brightest talents, and we can't wait to see them dive into brand new adventures with Jodie's Doctor, says the showrunner Chris Chinball. And yeah, so there we go. That's what I guess I was trying to say. For those of you who even watch Doctor Who, I should probably play a little bit of the Doctor Who theme at this point now that I've gone so far into it. And then also, yes, nobody brought up the soccer ball with the fact that Mr. Putin gave our president a soccer ball, and then our president just threw it to Melania, and I think that's about all I can play of the Doctor Who thing. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, I'll get dinged by YouTube. And then Trump said, "Yeah, we'll give that to our son Baron, not Sacha Baron Cohen, but Baron. Is it Baron is his son? Yeah, that doesn't sound right, but it is. And finally, that's about it. As we go outside of Café Anyway, Baron, Barron, that kind of a Baron, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. That's it. Hey, oh yeah, the Young Turks I mentioned on the last show too. Sorry, a bit jumbled about. It's because I got a hat on my head and it's very warm and my brain stopped working. So the Young Turks is a very liberal show. Of course, they've always bashed Trump, but I can't get into it. And I did see someone wearing a Young Turks t-shirt in Berkeley on Sunday. And that's fine. Go ahead and wear those Young Turks t-shirts, but they are still just an internet-only, like myself, type news source. And, you have to rely on a bunch of news sources, is what I'm saying. I got those couple stories from the LA Times, which I wasn't too pleased about, I will tell you. I'm not the biggest fan of the LA Times, but... And, oh, yeah, I also wanted to mention as we wrap up the show that I really enjoy doing the job of someone else. And that other person, if I do the job, like, even though I'm doing their job, and I don't do it correctly, because I'm busy with doing my job as well, and then they complain that I'm not doing their job, yeah, that person needs to get fired. I think I won't be any more specific than that. And then finally, there was the Pride Festival in Castro Valley this weekend, and there was also the car show right across the street at the church. And that happens every year. Last year it didn't happen. But for some reason it's been happening every year for several years now. The Pride Festival, I think, is in its 7th year in Castro Valley. And I had a wonderful time there. I always take my dog, Basil the Boxer, who sounds a little something like this. There he is. Wow. That took about 3 seconds to happen. This computer's not doing so good. And yeah, so he got to meet a lot of people. A lot of people petted him. But there was this thing where it was starting to get warm and he was looking a little tired because he's older, and I gave him a lot of water, and people were just, is your dog all right? Is your dog all right? And that shows the compassionate side of Podcastro Valley, and that they love their dogs. And yes, Basil is all right. But yes, we get that. And they were also handing out these buttons that said resist at the Pride Festival. Resist. There you go. So that pretty much sums up today's show. Next show, I guess I'm resisting. But I think I'll name the show Treason today, just because of someone else that was resisting the facts of 12 Russian internationalists, hackers, that have in fact been found out about, and Trump's still not recognizing it right in front of the guy that did it. Imagine that. So next show we'll have the wonderful Madame Rutabaga Valentino and Bison Bentley. Thanks for listening to the show. Hey, I made banana ice cream. Well, my lovely lady friend did last night. So I'll let you know how that goes. You make it in a blender, add a little bit of almond milk. You go completely non-dairy and healthier. Throw a little chocolate in that. I'll let you know how it goes. We had to freeze it though overnight, so we'll see how it tastes today. And that's the end of the show. Next show, Madame Rutabaga Valentino, Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!